Hello everybody, welcome to another Gym 360 virtual workout. In this video, I'm going to show you how to maintain and build muscle whilst we are on lockdown using one simple item of equipment. Now today we're going to use a weight plate, but you can use a couple of different things depending on what you have. You can use a weight plate, a kettlebell, a dumbbell for most of these exercises. In terms of why we're going to train in this particular way is to basically maintain and build some muscle mass. So all of this is a resistance workout, and we're going to try and cover every major body part from lower body through to chest, shoulders, back, biceps, triceps, and core. In terms of how this works, you need to be trying to find a weight that you can do for 20 to 40 reps or thereabouts. If you've got a weight that you can do way more than 40 reps with, then the reality is that that weight will not stimulate enough motor units in your muscles to help build muscle and generate some muscle growth. So it's pretty important that you try and find a weight that you can use, and if you have to adapt these exercises to try and make it slightly harder, then I'm going to try and talk to you about ways to do that during this video. There are other things that you can substitute in. This is not absolutely set in stone. So for instance, you can use a backpack as well, and you can load that with books, or you can load it with tins, or you can load it with bricks, whatever you need to try and get some heavier weights in there. On some exercises like squats or lunges or bent over rows, for instance, you're likely to be able to use a lot more weight than on something like an isolation exercise, like a side lateral raise. So think about that when you're trying to put together a little selection of kit to use during these workouts. Anyway, that's enough for now. I want you to smash on with this one. We're going to crack on, and I'll see you shortly. First exercise, guys, is a reverse lunge, which Ellie's doing in the background now. I want you to try and hold the weight plate here, keep your core nice and tight, chest up, chin up. Looking up slightly will help to pull your chest up naturally, and then drop your leg back all the way down to the floor till your knees almost touching, and then come back up. Let me show you a close-up. Next exercise is going to be an overhead walking lunge. Again, this is great, not just for the quadriceps and the lower body, but also for developing great core strength. Ellie's going to show you how to do this one. Let's go. Keep your core nice and tight as you go through. Drive back up through the thigh. Nice work. Next exercise, guys, is going to be thrusters. So a couple of coaching points here. Squat as deep as you can. Again, keep your core nice and tight. Hold the plate nice and tight. And as you come up, drive hard through the heels, explosively, and launch that weight over your head. If you've got a really heavy weight or a heavy kettlebell for these, you need to really kind of almost be trying to jump off the floor. It's the acceleration that's taking this up. It's not a shoulder press. Let's get ready to go. Next exercise is going to be a decline press. So what we've done here is Ellie's got herself into a hip bridge position, brought her heels back and driven her hips up high off the floor. Keep your core nice and tight and keep your butt cheeks nice and tight at the same time. Take the weight, bring it as low down and as tight to your chest as you can. Tuck those elbows into the side and then press back up. Let's go. Now this is working your pecs, it's working all of your chest, and also as an accessory it's working your tricep at the same time. Keep going. Next exercise, guys, we're going to do a grip press. So you need to take your weight plate and put it between your hands. Squeeze nice and hard together. You'll feel your triceps activate and your pecs activate at the same time. You're then going to lower it down to your chest and press it back up, constantly keeping pressure on the plate so A, it doesn't fall, and B, so that we're getting quite a bit of muscle activation. Ellie's ready to go. Smash them. Take them as deep as you can, that's good. Don't let it rest on your chest. Drive it back up. Nice work. There are lots of other exercises you can do with a weight plate for chest. If you're isolating and you're in the house with a couple of other people, you can have somebody put a weight plate on your back to do a weighted press up. Alternatively, you actually can get a weight plate onto your back yourself, but it just takes a little bit of kind of moving around. Away from that, you can change the angle. So you can go and put your feet up onto an object, a box, a small table, a chair, so you can get yourself into a different decline position, and you can hit all of those exercises that we've just done in different angles. The same with the press-ups. You can go and put your feet onto the sofa, you can put it onto a table, onto a chair, change the angle and adjust the angle. Because you don't have the same amount of weight that you would normally have perhaps in the gym, trying to hit the muscle from as many different angles as possible is going to be a really good strategy to try and get as much fresh stimulation as you possibly can. Now time to move on to a little bit of back. As I mentioned with back, this is a little bit harder because back is such a big, strong group of muscles that we're going to have to really try our best to try and hit this. Keep your technique really tight. Focus on good contraction of the muscle on these. We're going to do some bent over rows for a start off. Let's go and move on to those now. Really squeeze your back at the top, pull those shoulder blades all the way back. Get a good contraction. Get full stretch at the bottom. Next exercise that we're going to do is going to be a single arm row. Now obviously this is going to be more challenging and heavier than the bent over row that we've just done. If you've got a weight plate that has an integral handle, this is going to be easy. If not, then you've got an opportunity to work on your grip strength by doing a pinch grip onto the weight plate. Let's roll. Get that weight right under the shoulder and squeeze it all the way up. Nice work. Keep going, Ellie. Next exercise that we're going to hit up is a pullover. Now, obviously here, Ellie's laying on the floor. To get a deeper stretch, you can actually lay onto a bench or you can lay onto a box or anything that you've got that can raise you so that you've got more space behind the head when you get a stretch over. This is to work your lats again and also a little bit the pec. So you've got to come all the way back, stretch it as far as you can and then pull it over, tensing and contracting the lat as well at the top of the movement. Right guys, that's back pretty much done, so it's now time to move on and smash a little bit of a shoulders workout. We've got a couple of options on shoulders for you here. Let's get stuck straight in. We're going to start with an overhead press. Next exercise that we're going to do is a front raise. So holding the weight plate on either side, slight bend in the arm. This is going to work the deltoid, the shoulder, primarily the front part of the delt, the anterior delt. Let's go and smash the hell out of this one. Come on, keep going. Come on, push. Go on. Keep going. Keep going. We're now going to hit an upright row for shoulders. You can mix these around a little bit. If you have a lighter weight, then try and do the isolation exercises first. Something like a front raise will fatigue the shoulders quite nicely before you move on to the heavier exercises. If you have a heavier weight, then by all means you can start with the heavier movements, the more compound movements like the overhead press. Now we're going to go and do this upright row, and basically keep your elbows nice and high, drag the weight quite close to the body all the way up until your hands are just in front of your chin. Those elbows nice and high, that's good. You can adjust the intensity by slowing or speeding up the tempo of the exercise. On this case, we're going to slow down the eccentric part of the movement, the part of the movement where you are effectively lowering the weight back down. And we're going to take that to 3 seconds. That's going to put the muscle under more load because it's under tension for longer. Let's go. Ellie's ready to go. We're moving on to biceps now. We're going to do 2 exercises for this. First of all, we're going to do a hammer curl with the weight plate, and then we're going to hit it up with a squat preacher curl. So let's get these hammer curls out of the way first of all. Smash it. Try and get a full stretch on it. If you have to lean forward slightly, you can to give yourself a bit more range of motion. Really squeeze the bicep hard at the top. Nice work. Keep going. Come on, keep going. Keep working. Keep going. Next exercise is squat preacher curl. So you're going to get nice and low down on these. Actually, you can tuck your elbow into your knee to help stabilise the joint, and then pull the weight up as far as you can, get a good contraction on the bicep once more. Let's go. Time for us to smash up those triceps and get those pumped to hell. So we're going to do a couple of different exercises for this. Now, triceps get stimulated depending on the position of your elbow. That makes a big difference to which part of the tricep you're going to hit. So we're going to try and hit this from a few angles. First of all, we're going to start with a standing overhead tricep extension. We're then going to go on and do a laying or a prone tricep extension on the floor. We're going to show you how to do a close grip press, and actually we should have hit the tricep from a couple of different angles. There's lots of other variations that we're going to go through in other videos, but this should get you guys started. Keep those elbows really nice and high. Try and keep the arms straight and stable. Really keep the core nice and tight all the way through. Weight's going to come down around the back of your head. Keep going. Good work, keep going, Ellie, come on. We're now into a lying tricep extension. So if you get yourself into a position where your upper arm is perpendicular to the floor, let's go. Take it down overhead and try and get as much of a stretch as you possibly can. Going to finish this workout off with a little bit of core work. So what I'm going to do for these is show you Russian twists and also how to do a sit-up and maybe a crunch variation using this weight plate. Finish off with a little bit of a sit-up. So again, you can stretch this weight plate all the way behind your head if you want to make this exercise a little bit harder, and then you can actually make this into a press and press it overhead again, so you can still work a little bit more upper body. It's a great little finisher. Let's get this one wrapped up and done with. Keep your core nice and tight. Keep yourself nice and stable throughout the movement. Once you're about to press, keep that core tight again, drive up nice and explosively. Keep going, El, go on. Come on, O'Connor, smash it out. Keep going. Keep working. Keep going, come on. Stop, recover. Well done. You alright?